Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. We're finally going to dig out the 6.5 diesel. Let's go! It's your reality, no. All right, we got this thing pulled up here. Got it sitting up on jack stands, front and rear. All right, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is pull out the air box. Got the cover off. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the intake hat off and try to spray a bunch of PB Blaster down there and try to free it up. Now, the crank isn't broke, but what actually happened, I don't know if I explained this in the slight update when the truck was still in the backyard. The crank pulley is actually separated where the rubber is, so it spins just a little bit independently of the bolt. So that does need to be addressed. But some comments of the last Will It Run video, someone said, or a couple people might have said, one of the pulleys could be locked up. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the belt off, or try to just take it off and see if something's locked up, and maybe not the engine. But from what it seems like it turned over pretty good, and as we kept trying to turn it over, it kept getting worse and worse and worse. I think the cylinder walls are just so rusted that it's seizing itself up. Like I said, the truck was parked because the turbo was bad, and that is true, and he's an honest older gentleman. So I think just because the truck was sitting in such a wet environment and the whole engine bay was filled with, you know, debris, I think all of the combination of things is why it's trying to lock up. All right, got that all off. I've got really good access to each of the ports individually, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to spray that down really good, and then I'm gonna grab a vacuum and clean up the rest of this mess, and then we'll just wait. All right, I made a really cool discovery. Got the fan shroud out of the way, took the fan off, and took the belt off, and everything seems fine except the AC compressor. It's trying to lock up. It won't turn at all counterclockwise. If you try to turn it clockwise, it's really stiff. So that being said, there's no crank bolt, which is kind of strange. Guess I'm gonna try to put a socket on that right there and see what it does. All right, we got the starter back on, sprayed even more PP blaster down the intake. It's been soaking for about close to 2 hours. Got 2 new batteries, new terminals. I don't have high hopes for it, but you know, we'll see what it does. This thing's not treating me well. All right, sprayed some more in there. It's been sitting for a little bit. Let's try it again. If it's still turning over poorly, I'll spray more in there and put the batteries on charge, and then we'll try again. We got 2 hot batteries and a fully charged jump box, and it's been sitting for 4 or 5 hours. If it doesn't try to start or turn over faster now, I'm going to declare it dead. Fresh starter, 2 jump boxes. Let's see what it does.
You want to start with a key?
I'll do the key.
One more time. One more time.
Need more jump box.
I want to see this one.
Because the valves aren't sealing. They sound different.
The camera turned on.
Lost cause.
You know what will make it sound different though?
24 volts. Can we do that right now? Is that possible? Basically, the motor's trash is what we're coming to the conclusion. I like the idea of 24 volts because what? We're just gonna fry everything?
The 24 volt, all we do is swap these 2 battery cables, right? Technically.
If you hook it up wrong, it'll talk to you.
Okay, we'll be back. Right there. All right.
Ready?
24 volts of magic, here we go. Dude, the gauge is pegged. Ready?
Hang on, something ain't right with that.
If I just tried that
Turn it
starter.
backwards, probably.
That starter had a good time for a minute. I was impressed.
Do it again.
Oh,
Yeah, I think the starter let the smoke out. So now we have to catch the smoke, put it back in the starter, and we'll be back.
I'm done.
You're
Matt,
done?
that is the conclusion of the 6.5 diesel.
Slam the door.
Back there it goes for another 8 months or so.
That was weird.